Yo, we made it to Seattle. Today we're going to be boarding the Norwegian Encore for a 7-day cruise to Alaska. We started off in San Jose International Airport. We took the Southwest flight to Seattle. It was an early morning flight around 6:30. And now we are hungry. We're going to go check out the Pike's Place Market before we board the ship. From the Seattle airport, we took the Link light rail system down to downtown Seattle. And it's a very convenient way of getting from the airport to downtown Seattle. It takes about 45 minutes and costs about $3 per person. Our first meal in Seattle was at Beecher's Handmade Cheese. We got the world famous mac and cheese. It was very good. Very expensive, but I think it was worth it because of how hungry we are, but we're very satisfied. The second thing we ate at Pike's Place Market is Pure Food Fish Market, which had some cooked shrimp that they offered to give us some cocktail sauce with. So we bought a half-pound of the shrimp and we ate it with the cocktail sauce. The shrimp was very juicy, it was crisp and meaty. I think it was one of the best shrimp that we've had in this kind of cocktail style. So we highly recommend getting some cocktail shrimp in this way at Pike Place Market. We're here at Pike Place Market on a Sunday morning and it is extremely crowded. It basically reminds me of the Tsukiji Fish Market in Japan when it was open. We're very lucky today to be in Seattle on this sunny, warm, and clear day. I think it's very rare for Seattle to look like this. For dessert, we got Gelatiamo. It's a gelato and cafe place about 2 blocks away from Pike Place Market, and we got the passion fruit, raspberry, and chocolate chip gelato. It was very good, about $8. It's in a pretty shady, sketchy part of town, so it's kind of not that far from Pike Place Market though, so it's worth the walk. After spending 3 hours in downtown Seattle, we checked in on our cruise. The check-in process was pretty messy, but it wasn't that bad. It was just about a 30-minute wait or so before we could check our paperwork and then board the ship. Once we got on board the ship, we went to our room and we got a balcony room, stateroom number 11268. And the room is a lot bigger than we thought, so we're pleasantly surprised. Slippers and bathrobes aren't included in the balcony rooms, so we had to request them from guest services. Our first meal on the Norwegian Encore was at the local. We got the chicken wings and the corn and shrimp soup. Both of them were very tasty and good tasting. Just check out how beautiful and sunny and warm Seattle is right now. Our first impression of the Norwegian Encore so far is that it's huge. The decor isn't very fancy, but it's very comfortable. Our first dinner on board the cruise was at the Manhattan Room. It's complimentary. We got the 4 appetizers and then we got the beef medallion steak and also the shrimp scampi. The food was decent. It's like in the middle of airplane food and restaurant food. I think they're trying to get people to pay for the specialty restaurants. So the food here is good, but it's not like amazing. We're really enjoying our balcony room on the 11th deck. The only issue is there's a constant rumbling or a constant vibration inside of the room that we don't really experience within the main areas of the ship. We're not really sure if this rumbling is because we're on a specific deck or specific stateroom, but I can show you an example of the trembling. You can kind of see the bottle shaking around a little bit. What we've discovered is that all of the decks from deck 11 up to deck 16 on the left side and the back of the ship, there's rumbling or trembling, and you can feel it in the staterooms. So if you are sensitive to rumbling or trembling, avoid those staterooms on the back left side of the ship from deck 11 upwards. Good morning. This is day 2 now. Our sleep was okay. I think the thing that people don't really mention on cruise ships is that the ship is constantly trembling and creaking throughout the night, so you kind of really have to use some brown noise or white noise in order to drown out a lot of the sounds that you'll hear on the cruise ship while you're sleeping. Today is a full sea day, so we spent the morning at the gym and now we are on our way to the Garden Cafe buffet to get some food. The Garden Cafe is actually probably the best hotel type breakfast buffet that we've had. The food here is not salty, and that's one of the things that we love about the food on the Norwegian Encore. We're traveling at the end of July, which is peak season, so you can tell that it's very crowded on the Norwegian Encore. We spent some time on our balcony on day 2 to check to see if we can find any whales, but we weren't successful after 30 minutes. Our lunch today was at Taste. It's basically a mirror image of the Savor restaurant. We chose Taste because of its more light decor, and at the restaurant we got the spaghetti carbonara and 3 appetizers, and also we got the tiramisu and a pork ribs dish. All the food at Taste was excellent. I think it was better than the food that we got in the Manhattan room for dinner last night. So we're very impressed by the food so far. We tried our luck at whale watching again, and this time we were only able to see the blowhole about 5 times, and that was about it. We're not whale watching experts or anything, but I think the only tip that we have for whale watching is to bring some polarized sunglasses so that you can block out the glare and also block out the wind. We had dinner again at the Manhattan room. This is our second night there. This time we got the roast beef, the Pacific hake fish, and also we got 4 different appetizers, including a clam chowder, which is the highlight of our appetizers. So the food this time was better than our first dinner in the Manhattan room, but the food was still not as good as the lunch that we had at the Taste restaurant. So I think our hypothesis is that these specialty food restaurants are open for dinner, but they're not open for lunch. And so the complimentary lunches have better food quality than the dinners. The dinners seem like food that came from the buffet that they just plated in a nice way and served them at the complimentary restaurants. So that's what we think.